The best part about making stuff is when eventually you give it to people, right? And they put their own spin on it and they show you things you never would have imagined with it. We saw crazy melodic improvisation. We saw singers performing with it. We saw bands performing live with it. We saw beat makers having beat battles on it. We saw it in school projects and in music education. We would see it with finger drummers. We saw pop hits being written on it. We would see it being used in places we could really have never predicted. One of the biggest parts of my job is to actually go out and talk to our artist community about how they're using our products and how they might like to see them improved. And of course, everyone has something they really want to see. But when it came to Push, the one big wish was make it standalone.
We knew we wanted Push 3 to be standalone. There was always the desire for it, but it was such a big undertaking. We had to do a lot of work with the operating system. We had to support an audio interface for it to work without an additional audio interface. And we needed to do work for MIDI and Wi-Fi. And in order to make a standalone experience meaningful and for you to not have to think about moving to your computer, we needed to support many, many features.
One challenge with Push 3 was to bring all the new features into the same form factor as Push 2. The engineering team has done an incredible job to even slightly reduce the thickness of the device.
Certainly, it's something that we want to last a really long time. And having user replaceable parts inside of it is a big part of that vision. We're excited about that, also excited that a user can do it without having to unglue something or send it back to the factory.
To make Push 3 a long-lasting product, we designed it with user replaceable parts in mind. This is a Push 3 unit without a processor. It has a two-layer design where we hide everything which the user doesn't need to see and to interact with. Here you can see our upgrade kit. It consists of a battery, a CPU module, an SSD card and a heatsink. You can clearly see where these parts fit into the Push 3 unit.
The other part of it was expressive pads, and I think this came from wanting the instrument to feel more like a traditional instrument, and I think there were ideas about it predating Push 2 that we wanted more of this. With Push 2 we had poly pressure, but we didn't yet support that in live, so that was exciting to get that finally added to Push 2, but we also knew that was going to support the kind of expressive pads we've been working on for Push 3, and we've been working on those pads for a really long time.
The first idea of the three-dimensional pads was sketched. We can see the PCB base layer and the modeled pad which is mounted on the PCB. On top of the silicon pad we have a surface which is translucent and abraded in a way that we can recognize the finger position on top of the pad, and we can measure the force which is applied to the pad. Then I created a physical prototype to demonstrate the technology. So we can recognize X and Y position of the finger and also the force which is applied to the pad. This is Push 2 and this is Push 3. Push 2 has a one-dimensional sensor array and a very thick silicon mat. Push 3 has 2 sensor layers. One is for the finger position, and the second sensor layer is for the force. So we use inductive contactless sensors for the finger position and also for the force.
Having developers that actually make music rather than just code is super important because they see what needs to be done for the end user and themselves too, because we're all push users and excited about using push. What I like about it is that I'm really focused on one thing that is connected to everything else around me. And a new level of expression and feel, it being a little different each time you play it. It gives a real human feel to it that's much more like a natural instrument. Now, finally, we're at the place where we always wanted to be, where you can turn off the computer. With Push 3, I'm really stuck in that moment of the flow, the fun part of making music. Layer and loop and not get distracted by the things that don't make me happy.